What's good? What's good, everyone? What's good? Yeah. So there's a lot I want to say in this video. It might be, well, I don't know. I want to make it a short live stream, but who really gives a fuck? Who really gives a fuck? I just go as long as it goes. But yeah, I want to talk about There's a lot of things I feel like talking about. I want to talk about fasting and breatharianism and there's a lot of shit because one thing I realized is the first couple days of fasting is the hardest days. The first couple days of fasting is the hardest days. It's not even when I say hard, it's not hard as it's just boring and it just it's not hard in terms of hunger. Just you're not feeling the benefits. Like when you the more you feel the benefits, the more it's better. Like the 10th day is easier than the first day for me because the first day is just very boring. And this is why like I suggest when you guys go on the like let's just say you do a 21-day fast, when you get off of it, start again within the next day or 2 days. Don't go more than 2 days. The longer you fast, the more you want to keep up the routine because you're staying in this constant like awareness. I don't want to like put too much bias on it, but you're staying in a constant awareness. So when you start your next fast, it becomes easier. And it's just like a effect, this trickling effect that just keeps building. So you want to like do that because if you the longer you take, it's kind of harder to get back on. But I noticed like when I stay on it and I keep doing it, it builds I'm on a constant state. So even when I start my next one, the first day is actually it feels like I just started like my 10th day because it's like it's connected versus you take a long break, you're like going back to square one. And it gets easier the more you do it. So but what I want to talk about in this video is I notice like when I get to like day 8, 9, 10, at least over 7 days, I notice everything just seems fucking lame. Like everything seems lame. Like I look at the people, the relationships, the things I used to do. That shit looks lame. Like when I first started my last fast, I was playing you guys you see how I was streaming, I was gaming, and I told you guys like, oh, I stream and I game because when I do my fast because it helps it helps me get through my fast. But I noticed when I got to day 8, I didn't want to do shit inside. I had to go outside the house. I had to go out and do shit. Like I did a bunch of store runs. I went to the store for a couple relatives. They're like, oh, I want to go get some. I was like, let me go get it for you. I went out to the park. I just do a lot of things. I didn't want to stay inside. And it had me thinking like everything just seems lame when you're on a extended fast state. I'm talking about a long fast. I'm not talking about like 3, 4, 5 days. I'm talking about like over 10 days. Like, cause that's when you really start feeling the effects. Everything just seems lame. And then you start seeing the energy and everything. And I'm like, it made me kind of just not regret, but like look back at all the time I wasted doing a bunch of dumbass shit, all the times I smoked, all the times I wasted playing all these stupid video games. And because the reason I like doing that shit is because you're like in a low vibration state. And then like you see everything for what it really is. You see people are full of shit. Like I can't even like and that's another thing. I can't deal with people when I'm on an extremely fast state. Like I see people for what they are. They're pieces of shit. And I don't like I'm gonna be real with you guys because like you got a lot of dumbass, fake ass spiritual people out here. They'll sit here and tell you, oh, you're low vibrational because you're this or you're that. But these people are really, they're self projecting. They are what they say that you are. But they're caught up in like that fake ass spirituality where they feel like, oh, I have like, it's about healing and doing the work. It's not about just saying something a million times. And if you say it, you're going to get better. So certain people say, "Oh, I have love and have peace and love," but these people aren't love and they're not peace. Love has nothing to do with what you think it is. Like when they'll tell you having love, and like you'll see these dumbass, stupid ass people. Oh, I was so I when I became awake, I had so much love. Love doesn't mean like you love the world and you love this and love that. I'm not saying you can't love the world, but love means actually being yourself. That's what love is. So it's not even, I wouldn't even call it love. I just call it being yourself. Because when you be yourself, that's what they call love, is being yourself, seeing the world and seeing things for what it is, being authentic, unapologetically, not giving a fuck what anybody thinks or what they're saying, and being you and seeing the world from an awareness level that is the best version of you. So when I talk about fasting, breatharianism, I don't think about breatharianism as, oh, I gotta stop eating. Don't think about breatharianism as I gotta fast for 20 days, or I'm trying to live forever, or I'm trying to be healthy. That's not what breatharian is about. Anybody who talks about breatharianism, don't get me wrong, breatharianism could be about eating healthy. It could be about going long days without eating, but those are symptoms. When you're talking about not consuming, and breatharianism is about being the greatest version of self. That's what it is. That's what it is. It's about being the great. So you want to be the greatest version of yourself. So when you consume, it makes you be able to reach that a lot more effortlessly. Like a lot of people say, well, I don't have to not eat and I could be the greatest version of myself. People who say that, those are people where it's hard for them to fast. So if it's hard for you to not eat and you get hungry, it's like somebody who it's hard for them to run. So they say, I don't have to run. I could just drive. But they don't understand, like when you running, it feels good for you to run. When they run, it hurts. So they have to make up an excuse why I don't need to fast. I don't need to run. I can just drive. But yeah, you should drive because you got weak ass fucking legs. You shouldn't fast because you're a weak ass bitch ass nigga who gets hungry after a few days. Not to shit on you guys who, I'm talking about these bitch ass niggas who got something negative to say about, oh, you don't need to eat to get this. Well, at the end of the day, you don't need that, because at the end of the day, if you tried to do what I did, it'll be hard for you. So you're just going to be make your life miserable. But they self project thinking you feel like them. They don't understand like this comes easy to you, not because you're lucky, but you train the body, and over time it became easier. Some people, they can't get through years of training the body and getting to that level. And some people, they don't even have to train that long. Like I know people into it and they just growing into it. But all of this is to make yourself a better version of self. And when you're doing this, that's the most important thing, is so you can be more aware and have a better version of self for you personally, for what you're doing. It's not about living forever. It's not about oh, I'm trying to be healthy, because all of it, because everything eating has to do with emotions. You got to understand that when you're on a fast and you feel like eating and you're hungry, it's not because you're hungry, it's because you're trying to get high. Food is a drug. So when you're like, oh, I'm hungry, I want to eat, you want to get high, you want to feel good. A lot of people say, oh, I broke my fast. Like a lot of people I'll see, like I have cousins, people I see on these groups that I'm in, that I'm not really in these groups, but like I just be checking in just to see other people who are breatharian, to see how they, like what's their get down for what they do, just out of curiosity and seeing other people doing this. And a lot of people will say, I broke my fast because I was bored. Or they'll say, I broke my fast because I was hanging out with my family and they went out to the restaurant. No, you broke your fast because you wanted to get high. Because when you don't train the body and you're not on that, they call it the pranic state, where you're able to, it's not the pranic state, what they call is when you're in a state where you're not really fasting, but you're not eating. So you're not eating, but you have more energy and you're not hungry. Not because you're you did a lot of breath work or you did a lot of yoga, even though those can complement and help, but it's because your emotional state and your awareness level is to a point where you don't need food no more. And the best example I can give you is like, imagine you got some very good news and you're so excited that you can't sleep and you can't eat. Have you ever been so happy and excited you can't sleep and eat? So it's kind of like that. It's not like that, but it's kind of like that. Like anytime when you're extremely happy or you're extremely depressed, notice something. You can't eat, right? When you're extremely depressed, you can't sleep and you can't eat. When you're extremely happy, you can't sleep and you can't eat. So the what they call the pranic state is a awareness level you achieve once you train the body and program the body enough to be what they call the breatharian state where you don't need consumption. So, and it's not like you're there overnight. It's a slow, gradual process. So you ease into it. It's like you fade into it. And like I'm at a certain level where I'm fading into it. I'm not there. So my consumption is very little. This is why I was able to do 10-day dry fast with no water, no food. But just the beginning of this year, I was only able to do like 4 days before I needed water. So it's like you ease into it. So I have a glimpse of what it is. So once you start easing into it, you start realizing it's not about getting rid of food. It's about your emotional level. Because when I was eating a lot of garbage and shit, I noticed my emotions was so fucked up. The more my emotions get in check and my awareness level gets in sync with my true self, the more I don't need to eat. You see what I'm saying? So it's that's what it's based upon. This is a emotional, mental healing thing. It has nothing to do with just putting down, throwing away the fork and not eating, or I'm gonna go on a 20-day fast, or I'm gonna do this breath work and I'm gonna this is like a deep like emotional cleansing. And this is what I'm starting to realize right now. And this is why a lot of people they don't understand it and then they get into it. Because like when you get on these fasts, you gotta look at it like you can't get it, you can't start doing a fast and then the third day you start thinking about what you're gonna do when you end the fast. You're not there yet. So this is an emotional thing. The reason why you want to end the fast is and you want to eat is because you want to feel good. That's all the reason you want to. You want to feel good because once you start, and a lot of you guys they say, "Oh no, I'm hungry because I have stomach pains." That's the beginning stages, hunger pains. Once you get over the hunger pains, you got to go through the mental battle, which is actually some cases harder because once you get rid of the hunger pains, then when you the times you want to eat, you don't feel like me. I don't feel hungry anymore. But when I do eat, it's because I want to just when you like you don't need to smoke marijuana, you don't need to get drunk, but sometimes you may say I want to drink. Do you need alcohol? No, you just want to feel good. So that's how food is on the mental battle. I'm I'm phasing that part out. I'm just getting out of that part. That's why I was able to accomplish that 10-day dry fast on my last fast. So it's like I'm slowly easing myself out of that mental, but it's the mental battle is actually harder than the hunger pain because the hunger pains is more like you train your body by going on a long fast. Like if you do a 21-day fast and you stick to it, then the next fast is going to be easier. That's the physical stuff. You can easily get rid of that, but the mental one is the emotions attached to the food. Like sometimes you may want to just eat because you feel like it's a certain time or you feel like you just want to feel good because food is a drug. Like a lot of you guys don't understand. But once you go on a 30-40 day fast, start eating again. You're gonna realize the moment you break that fast, it feels low key like you just took a drug. You have certain thoughts. Even like you go on a 30-day fast, your thoughts are so clear. Once you start eating, you'll notice you'll start having thoughts. You may have certain, depending on what you're dealing with, you may have certain sexual thoughts, you may have certain anger thoughts, certain depression, anxiety may come back, but you guys don't know that because you eat every day, you consume every day, and it's like it's normal. So you're thinking this is just me, how I'm thinking, but this is just because your vibration and your energy is just low because you're consuming a lot of bullshit and you don't need to be consuming. And I'm not saying that's the only way to like get rid of because even if a lot of people may say, well, I still eat, but I don't have those thoughts or but if you didn't eat, you'll be a whole different person. So even somebody will say, well, I eat and I don't have those thoughts and I'm this and that. Well, imagine if they didn't consume, how much even more they will be. So it's not about what you can accomplish while still eating. It's about the person you'll be even greater if you were to eliminate the food. You see what I'm saying? So you'll even be even greater than you are right now, what you think you are. And you don't even know your full potential because you haven't even been cleansing the body of these toxins, which affect your gut. When you fast, your body's not going through the digestive process. And your gut is a brain. So your gut thinks, your heart thinks. This organ that they call the brain, it thinks. So just like this thinks, your heart thinks and your gut thinks. This is why you have different types of intuition. Like even if your gut is fucked up, you're gonna like. This is why a lot of you guys crave sweets like bread and candy. The reason you crave candy and sweets is because you have parasites in your gut, and it's influencing the way your gut brain is thinking, and it's making you crave certain shit. So this is why you want to cleanse that shit. Do a colon cleanse or a long fast, and then you'll notice you'll feel lighter, and a lot of GMO chemicals and food isn't going to affect you like it usually does affect you. All because you don't have those parasites in you that's affecting your brain, making you crave a lot of shit. And it's more than just food. Certain movies you watch, video game, certain sexual fetishes you have, how you perceive sexual encounters and people, that you're cleansing that too when you're going on a fast. You're not going to see people the same. You're not going to see the world the same. It's like, you know how you have TV and you have a contrast? You could turn the brightness level up. It'll be like contrast and it turns bright. When you go on these fasts, like you're turning the contrast up. You're turning like the dial up and everything seems more real and true. So this is what cleansing the body does. And it makes you more of who you are. I'm not saying it's going to make you have all this spiritual knowledge and info. That shit is something you have to do because there's people who are breatharian who are pieces of shit. I was just watching this breatharian group, and these people are so-called breatharian, but one of the bitches in the fucking in the video, she is so-called like a liquidarian and she does dry fasting, but she's fucking retarded. She's stupid. I'm more intelligent than her, and I have more common sense. She's just an idiot. But yet, at the same time, she's a breatharian and she doesn't consume solid foods for like years. So there was things I could learn from her, but I took what I can take. But when she starts talking about spirituality and quoting Gandhi, that what made me realize breatharian has nothing to do with spirituality. And when you see a lot of these other people who are breatharian and you go into these groups, they'll try to connect breatharianism and fasting to spirituality. That shit has nothing to do with spirituality. Spirituality and all that other shit has to do with life experiences in this life, in your past life, and what your goal is and mission and purpose and how old your spirit is. If you got a weak ass, young ass spirit and you're aware and conscious, you're not going to have the same knowledge as somebody who's a more seasoned spirit. And I'm not saying I'm the most seasoned or not, or I know every fucking thing, even though I do, but I'm not saying like I'm the most like know-it-all, and I don't want to be the fucking most know-it at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, for where I'm at, I'm proud as fuck, and I'm one of the most intelligent people. And that's a fact. And I know that. So I just want to let you guys know, like, don't be thinking that this shit is connected to spirituality. This shit has nothing really to do with it. Spirituality stuff, because when you go on a fast and you cleanse, it's gonna show you your true version of self. So if you're somebody who's already intelligent, smart, it's gonna make it greater. If you're somebody who's an idiot, it's just gonna make you on a base level where you have common sense. So you see what I'm saying? It's just gonna make you more of what you are supposed to be. It's not gonna give you no knowledge. It's not gonna give you no extra information. Only knowledge it'll give you is everything you already know, like what you're supposed to be doing. And that's not even really knowledge. That's just like people say, oh, I got a download. And then they'll say, what's the download? Oh, the spirit told me to do this. Bitch, that's not a fucking download, you stupid motherfucker. That's just that's the spirit telling you what you already know. If I tell you to wash your fucking ass, is that a download or that's something that you should already know because you fucking stink? You see what I'm saying? It's like, so be careful when you when you hear a lot of these motherfuckers, they try to think they're holier than thou just because they're a breatharian. That doesn't mean really shit. It just shows you how weak their spirit is. Shout out to Robert Hanley. Was good with it. It just showed you how weak their spirit is, even when they weren't consuming, when they were consuming and eating, they were just even more retarded than they are. And them not consuming just made them realize that they didn't know shit, and they're at a level where they still don't know shit. So this is what they'll tell you. The more you know, the more you don't know. We don't know everything. Nobody knows the truth. Shut the fuck up, nigga. Don't tell me nobody knows the truth. You fucking idiot. Who the fuck? You don't know the truth. Don't project that shit on me. How do you know we don't know everything? I don't know everything. You can't tell me I don't know everything. Who are you? You're nobody. And you even said you're nobody because you just said the more you know, the more you don't know. That doesn't make any sense because the more you know, the more you don't know. That means the more you know, the more you're a fucking idiot. The more you that's a contradiction. How can I be learning and still be a fucking idiot? If I'm learning something, I know something. So how can I say the more you know, the more you don't know? That means learning and education and knowledge it makes you a degenerate. That don't make fucking sense. Like, see how stupid people are? If I know something, nigga, I'm more intelligent. I know something. Dumbass. That's why you go call somebody a retard or a dumbass because they lack knowledge of a certain situation or circumstance for you to call them that. A fucking retard can't wash their own ass, gets fucking you guys see the retard of special ed. You call them a retard because they don't know shit. So we're not gonna sit here and play that shit like you knowing shit is making you retarded. When you can obviously see a retard that doesn't know shit, and he's a retard. But it's like, you guys, that's what I'm saying. No, knowledge and wisdom is not infinite. That's another thing. It's not infinite. A lot of people like to sit there and what's infinite is what we can create. So knowledge and information is finite based upon what I need to know. There's certain things that I need to know based upon this experience in a human vessel, in a body, and what I'm doing in my life. I don't need to know about how a fucking cat licks its ass because, first of all, I'm not a fucking cat, and I don't care to know about that because I don't even have the mechanisms on my human body to even lick my ass like a cat. I can't stretch. I don't have fur. I don't have a fucking same anal cavity as a cat. So knowledge really isn't. That's a lot of dumb. You got to understand. A lot of the shit, like 99% of the shit you see on the internet is fucking retarded. I just got to understand that. We're coming into a new shift, and with this new shift, a lot of shit is being revealed that 99% of the shit you thought you knew was fucking retarded. That's part of this new shift. Is most of the spiritual shit they talk about, all of that shit is fucking retarded. Life is very simple and life is very grounded. What you have to do is very simple. It's very grounded. It's not complex. It's not hard. And shout out to Robert Hanley. I'm not saying you're dumb or you have any shout out to Robert Hanley. I'm just trying to tell you, like, the government has like psyoped a lot of knowledge and information and twisted it from the truth to make it look like it makes sense. And the human mind and language is very tricky, and it can fool you by making things sound like it makes sense when it really doesn't. So you have to, this is why I say life is very fucking simple. And once you tune into yourself and be yourself, you know to get the knowledge that's right for you. I don't need to know something that I don't need to fucking know. I need to know what's right for me and what I need to be doing. Like, for me, I talk about breatharianism. So this is what I speak on. I can give a fuck about somebody who's not into breatharianism. It doesn't matter to me. If you're watching my video and you're telling me, well, you don't need to be a breatharian to do this, then why are you watching my channel? What the fuck you want me to tell you that, oh, you want me to sit there and cater to you and say, no, I don't give a fuck about somebody who's not a breatharian because that's not my path. I don't give a fuck about somebody who's not doing what I'm doing because it's not my path. I'm not going to sit here and tell you how Oh, it's okay to, I don't give a shit. So I'm gonna speak on what I need to speak on and mind my fucking business. That's why on my last channel I said people gotta mind their fucking business. And when I said mind your business, I'm talking about be yourself and do your thing and don't worry about shit that doesn't concern you. Worrying about shit that doesn't concern you is taking in all this information and all this shit that doesn't, that's not for your spirit, but you think it is because it sounds good. Like I was caught up with a lot of spiritual shit, like lost in a lot of spiritual shit at one point in time. I won't even say lost because I'd never really been lost, but I was paying it attention more than I should have paid it attention. And that right there kind of like wasted my time. It didn't take me off track, but that mental energy I was paying attention, it could have been used for something even better. But it never took me off track because I never took any of that shit as serious because it was impossible. I could only take what's true for me serious because what's true for you works. Anything that's not true for you, it doesn't work. So all these niggas talk about, oh, I'm gonna manifest this, I'm gonna manifest this. Even though we know manifesting does not, how they say manifesting doesn't make any fucking sense. So it's not. So that's why a lot of people manifesting doesn't work for them. If that wasn't the case, you would have tens of thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people still working these miserable bum ass, shitty ass jobs such as McDonald's and Target. You wouldn't have people there because they would have just manifested a situation where they weren't working at these bum ass places like Walmart, McDonald's, and Target. You see what I'm fucking saying? So obviously that shit don't fucking work. Obviously, because everybody and their mama, and especially if you're a nigger, you know about melanin and manifesting, and we the chosen black people. And I can manifest this. And like, shut the fuck up, nigga. That's what your ass is still a fucking nigger, still doing nigger shit, watching nigger academics, and still listening to that dumbass trap music, and still acting like a typical regular person. You're nobody special. Obviously, that shit didn't work. So I'm not saying you can't manifest the life you want, but obviously people were going about it the wrong way. It's about being yourself and everything working natural. Because if life is supposed to be extremely natural and flow, the only time you're supposed to work hard is when you're sacrificing or you're letting go of mental thoughts and you're trying to get into a new mental mind frame and you're letting go of emotions and letting go of desires, habits. That's the hardest thing about life. Once you master that, nothing else is hard. Even if it's hard, it's really not. It's supposed to happen. If I slap you across the face and the spirit said you're supposed to get slapped across the face because that's your purpose, then it's not hard because you getting slapped across the face is supposed to happen. But if I slap you across the face because you weren't on your spiritual path, then that's hard because you weren't listening to spirit, so you got slapped. So therefore, that's a hard experience. A hard experience is only a hard experience if you're not supposed to go through it. If you're supposed to go through it because it's supposed to be a natural experience, then it makes the experience easier and you perceive it a lot differently. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta keep that in mind. Life is very simple. All you gotta do is be yourself and be into your authentic self, and that's very easy. You guys all know how to do that. Not to say you're not gonna have no mistakes and be on the wrong path. You may be on the wrong path. Sometimes you have to be on the wrong path to get stung so you can get on the right path. So it's all about just being. You don't want to. You don't want to. Don't think too deep. Just live. And sometimes the mistakes you make, look at the mistakes you made and see how it made you who you are right now. That's how you figure out how to be yourself, is based upon the mistake. We all made mistakes. Look at those mistakes. See what happened. Then look at your situation now. Are you still going through that? If you're not, that means you're on the right path. If you are, that means you're on the wrong path. Get on the right path. When you're on the right path, you're gonna get sent. You're gonna get feedback from the reality. It's very easy. I'm gonna drop the link if anybody wants to join. But shout out to everyone in the room, and yeah. But when we're talking about breatharianism, this has nothing to do. What I'm realizing is this has nothing to do with just not eating. I want you guys to understand that's not eating is a symptom. is really it's a symptom of greater awareness that you're having of self. The more you control your emotions and you have awareness of who you are, the more you're not going to want to consume. You're not going to need it no more. It's not like, oh, I got to fast my way to this. Don't think of it like that. This is what I tell you guys. It's about this. It takes years, and it takes practice, or like yoga, the qigong. I told you back in 2023, yoga, qigong, and yoga, qigong, and fasting. Those are my 3 methods that you need to do consistently. So if you were doing it, I started mentioning that around 2023, maybe 2022. If you were doing it consistently every day from that point, you would have probably been like a breatharian right now, because it takes time to do that. It's not, that's what I said. Like, I don't even like push this like this, because I'm not going to tell you guys to be a breatharian. You guys got to know for yourself if this path is for you, plain and simple. And I can't tell you that, but all I can tell you is this path right here, it works for me, and it's liberated me in many ways. Like, I don't really have that much stress about a lot of shit that I used to, because it's not a problem for me. Like, I used to be so caught up in what I'm gonna, like, even when it comes to like money and shit, like I will like recently, within the last few months, I will buy certain shit. Like, it seems like everything I buy that's not investing into myself or my purpose, I feel like it's like I end up wasting, I end up wasting my money. Like, I don't need it. Like, anything, because I'll be so caught up in what you're supposed to do. And like, you know how people say, when you have money, you're supposed to spend money. Sometimes I'll go out and I'll go and buy some shit, right? And then I'll end up getting it, and then I'll end up be like, I don't need this shit. Why did I buy it? Because I don't enjoy it. Like, there's nothing that I enjoy, and I almost feel like I don't need anything, because anything that I buy or anything that I steal or whatever, I end up not needing it. Like, it's weird, and I'm realizing, like, I don't even think I need anything other than, like, obviously you got to pay bills, you got to pay rent. Besides bills, rent, and like expenses like car, so I can get around, like, besides that shit, I don't need anything other than just to be able to spend money, just to be able to live in a place. Obviously you got to pay rent, but besides me paying rent, me paying bills, and even when I say bills, I would say rent is like the only bill. And then if I do consume, which I'm eventually, within the next 10 years, I shouldn't even be consuming food or water, but probably even less than that. But as for right now, if I get food, which is probably be once a week or once every few weeks, if I go on an extended fast, I don't need shit other than paying rent, bills, and in car. And bills, I use that lightly because I don't have no bills really other than rent. And I'm getting to a point where I don't need shit. And I feel more when I feel more at peace. Cause even when I do, like sometimes I be thinking like, I should go and do this, or I should go and like that NutriBullet I got. I didn't buy that NutriBullet. I stole that shit from Walmart. I put like a little sticker on it and I scanned it because I didn't want to spend my money. It was only $80. $80 ain't really shit, but I was like, I already know I don't need it because I don't consume. I'm fasting most of the time and I don't even make smoothies. And even smoothies and shit, fruit, all that shit ain't even healthy like that. Like, you guys gotta understand, like, even when you're like, I want to eat, I want to be on a smoothie diet, I want to be on a vegetarian diet, I want to be on a diet where it's very little food or water, or even water, all of that shit. You don't think about, oh, I'm eating healthy. The moment you say I'm eating healthy, that's the moment you fucking failed. It's not about eating healthy. It's not about, oh, I'm gonna eat these smoothies or I'm gonna go on a raw vegan. First of all that shit is not healthy. None of this shit is healthy because anytime your body's consuming anything, it's affecting the digestive system. This includes water, but water is better because you can still be in a fasted state with water. But water still has toxins in it. But when you're trying to eat vegetables, raw vegan, or any of this shit, it should be because I'm eating healthy. It should be I'm trying to get my spirit healthy And this is a stepping stone to get me to be aware of myself, not so I can live forever, not so I can um tell people, oh, I'm a vegan and I eat healthy and I don't eat GMO, because if you're so caught up in what you want to eat, and let's just say you eat hamburgers and shit, and then you stop eating hamburgers and you eat fruit and vegetables. If you don't deal with the root emotional cause, you're gonna be addicted to eating fruits and veggies. So the same addiction you had with hamburgers, you're gonna have with fruit and veggies. So you're gonna be that person who always needs to eat their fruit and veggies, and you have to have it, and you're that nigga who, do you know that they got chemicals on the bag like benzoate and saccharin and ammonia and all these other fucking chemicals, and they got a million fucking chemicals they got. Like, you see this bag right here? This is a Whole Foods bag. It says it's what's not in it. All of these little words are like chemicals that they don't put in Whole Foods. So you got people out here who are like so addicted to like chemicals. They're like, oh, this is a preservative, natural, identical flavors. They got all these chemicals, and all of these little words, those are chemicals that aren't in the foods they sell at Whole Foods. But if you go into Whole Foods, anybody with half a fucking brain will know that shit is still toxin and poisonous. But yet you'll have all these people who are so addicted to like chemicals and, oh, look at these GMOs. Like, you ever seen those Instagram videos or those YouTube pages where it'd be like some nigga that go into like a Whole Foods or a health store or Walmart, and then they'll start reading the labels off the fucking container. But then when you look at this individual, you can tell they don't even practice fasting, cleansing. They just are about, so these people are addicted to healthy junk food, is basically. They're addicted to eating healthy. But the key word is addiction. They're addicted. So they're like, oh, you don't eat Oreos. Get this gluten-free sorghum wheat version of Oreos. It doesn't have wheat flour. It doesn't have yeast, because yeast is a bacteria. It doesn't have wheat flour. It has sorghum flour, which is more healthier than wheat. And they name all these fucking ingredients. It doesn't have sugar. It has fucking agave syrup, which is a sweetener. Like, you see what I'm saying? They say all this other shit to make it like it's somehow healthier, but you're still consuming dense ass food that's still creating mucus and toxins, and you're not even really, what's the point? And I'm not saying it's bad to consume those foods. I'm not saying it's bad to consume it, but when your purpose is just like what these niggas are doing, like they're health nuts and they gotta read the kid, then you have an addiction. You have a fucking mental illness. But if you're doing it as a stepping stone to, if you treat food as a way to, as a stepping stone to get to know who you truly are, because we all need to eat to survive at some point. At some point, everybody needs to eat to survive. For 99.9% of people, at some point, everyone needs to eat to survive. But you use food as a stepping stone to know yourself, to get to a point. But if you're using it as an addiction, as a crutch, then you're just like a healthy crackhead. So we don't want to look at food that way. You want to look at it as in a way where it's like a stepping stone or something that's getting, even if it means you being a raw vegan, a person who's a raw vegan, who's in tune with themselves, that's a healthy raw vegan. Somebody who just a fucking like, somebody just eating it because they're just so like OCD about chemicals. And when you look at their daily life, their whole shit is fucked up. Like, they got kids that they don't fuck with, or they just, their life is all fucked up. They're just narcissistic pieces of shit. They just ain't nobody really fuck. This is what that's a person who their problem is something else. And them eating healthy isn't going to get them anywhere. This is a piece of shit person. So even them eating healthy is going to develop some type of problem, mental illness physically, because it's not about just eating, consuming. This is a health path. This is about being the greatest version of self. It's not about living forever. It's not about, I got to eat healthy to not have this illness. Even though those things, eating healthy and being healthy, that's a symptom.
I'm not saying it's when I say it's not about eating healthy, I'm not saying you don't end up eating healthy. I'm just saying that's a symptom. That's not the actual root cause. It's a symptom. So always look at it as a symptom. Don't look at it as like it's the root cause of shit. Which is the root cause of what you're supposed to be doing is being yourself, and that's it. And you'll notice as you start doing this, you'll start seeing life for what it is. You notice ain't nobody shit in this world, good and bad. When I say good, in the good way, ain't nobody shit, as in you don't let anybody affect you. You're more forgiving and chill around certain energies because you know this person ain't shit. So it doesn't get to you as much. But negatively, you start to realize like, damn, this world ain't shit. Everything you were doing, you realize it's a waste. It was a waste of your fucking time. That's the thing. A lot of you niggas, once you come into a certain awareness, you'll notice a lot of shit was a waste of your fucking time. A lot of relationships you're in, a lot of people you dealt with, even people on YouTube that I met over the years, wasting my fucking time. Like a lot of the shit I watched, even the shit I was talking about, wasting my time. Like that's why I try to tell you guys, like anybody who's always talking about some spirituality shit or just anything. I'm not saying spirituality is a negative thing you shouldn't be into, but look at spirituality as how can I be the greatest version of myself and how can I be myself. Anything beyond that, that's not spirituality. That's just somebody that just trying to confuse you, and they watch too much fucking YouTube because we're in a shift right now, and everything is being exposed in this shift. So like within the next few years, you're going to start seeing the government, they're going to have to like switch up their whole protocol and their whole program because a lot of their shit ain't working. Like social media, that shit's dying off. Social media is dying. A lot of it's fake. They created a new app. It's funny because I just got a notification. They created a new app called Threads. They created it. It came out a couple years ago. And notice how this came out a couple years ago. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, those came out in the old shift. So when Facebook, Twitter, Instagram came out, it had some validity to it because we were in a different shift. And in the beginning, those platforms were actually had a better purpose and intention compared to right now. But any type of social media they make now is it's gonna come off as like weird. So the newest social media app, and when I say newest, I'm not there's a lot of social media apps that come out every day. But the newest one I would say that came out that resembles Facebook, Twitter, and all of that shit. Because you notice the newer ones they come out, they don't have that much hype. Like TikTok was a new one. It doesn't have as much hype as the other ones because social media is dying. So they released this new app called Threads, right? It's connected to Instagram. They released it a couple years ago, but like it's just gaining traction. That whole shit is fed. It's all AI. Every like I will say 95% of every single post on that app is AI. Download this app called Threads. It's like I think you need an Instagram account to even get it. I'm sure you guys heard of it. That app that app has nothing but fucking AI on it. That whole app, okay, the whole purpose of that app is to be like Facebook and Instagram without the videos and the pictures. So they're trying to make a text-based social media with no picture, no video, or no nothing. Issue is with that is everything comes off more like self-projecting because at least with Facebook, if so, like you'll have a video on Facebook, TikTok, or Instagram or a picture, and people will say, "Fuck black people, fuck women, I'm pro-Trump." But at least with those with those other social media, it will be backed up with a picture or video. So even though people are self-projecting on that shit, they'll be like, "Oh, I have a reason to say fuck black people because these black people just ran upside this cracker's head and stole his money. So I have a reason to do." Even though you can still see through it if you have common sense, but they had video footage and all this. But this app, you go on it, just barely know. They still got videos and shit, but it's not. They don't promote it. It's mainly just text. So it'll be a whole bunch of text of people just self-projecting. Like you'll see a bunch of AI pages. Like I told you, if you download the app, 99% of all the fucking pages on that app are all AI. Black, white, it don't matter. They have every race. And all the females, they like one thing it is like every profile, it'll be different. Like you'll scroll and it'll be a different picture on every profile picture. So you'll always see different people. And there'll be a female. And you could tell the female's AI because the female will be looking like, you know how they have a certain look, like she looks like a prostitute or a fucking OnlyFans model. All the bitches on that look like that. And then they will talk about like relationships. And then there's different threads within the app. So one thread will talk about females or talk about MGTOW or how men hate women. And it'll just be a bunch of posts saying all men need to pay for this. And they'll have an app and then people will comment. So in this app, they promote people to comment and engage versus on Facebook and Instagram. It's not really, they don't really promote engagement like that unless you're in a group. This one, it's like people just self-project and it's weird as fucking everything is AI on that fucking page. So I'm looking at this app and I'm seeing it, I'm seeing all this shit and I'm like, okay, what's the point of all this? Everything at first when I looked at it, I was looking at it, but then somebody mentioned it like everything's on this page is AI. Then it kind of made me like kind of look and I was like, okay, let me check out these pages. And then when you look at these pages, they all look similar. Like you could tell the females look a certain way, the dudes look a certain way. And in everything that like they fucked up because some of the men and some of the women, they will say things that don't correlate with how they look. So they're using the AI so much that sometimes the AI will say shit that don't make sense. Like you'll see a black person say something that the average person that you see that's black in real life will never fucking say. Or you'll see a female say something that they will never say it. Or they will say something that they would say, but they say it in a way that's like kind of weird. So I'm like, because they it's like they tell on themselves so much. So I feel like that whole Threads app is like a psyop. Like there's nobody real on that page. And they talk about the whole dead internet theory and shit. Even then, that's low-key bullshit. Don't get me wrong, the internet is dead, but you gotta understand there's people behind these dead profiles. Don't act like most of these profiles is actually real people. They're paying people to be behind them. So they want you to think everything is this AI and everything is just auto chat GPT generated. Some of it is, but a lot of it, I probably say probably a high, I don't know what percentage, but a majority of it or most of it is by real people. They're paying people to like be on the internet and just, because think about it, who has time to really be on the internet? The average person, even that they even tell you on these TikTok fucking videos and these fake ass YouTube pages, most people have to work 2 jobs just to survive and pay rent. And you talk to the average person, most people are having to work and go to school and do all this other dumbass shit, wasting their fucking time just to make this system, just make the people of this system and their families richer. People got to waste time doing shit that they don't want to do. Who the fuck has time to really be on these sites? And then when you look at them, the amount of money that they pay on social media, to make a living off social media, you have to have so much engagement and views. These motherfuckers, like, they don't even have that much engagement and views, but that they're on it all the time. So there's no way these are real people because the average, especially time is accelerating. The average person goes to work, wakes up in the morning, they scroll their phone for a few minutes or an hour or two, get ready for work, go to work, come home, scroll their phone, go to sleep, eat, and then go back to work. That's the average person's life right now. That's the average person's life. Even unless there's somebody, and you may say, well, the only people who aren't living that life are people who just don't work, or they own their own business. And even those people, they have to work on their business, so they still don't have time to really do shit. So this is how you can tell a lot of that shit's AI, because who the fuck has time to be on these sites engaging like this? So this is why they have to have AI, because nobody has time to really be on social media, because the prices and everything and keep raising and people got to work more. So nobody has time to really be on these sites. So they have to put more AI bots on it, especially time is accelerating. So it's like the whole AI shit, that shit's getting out of hand. That shit's getting out of hand. So like go and download that Threads app and just check that shit out. You guys will see what I'm talking about. Nothing but AI bots on that fucking site. And I think the whole purpose of that app is to promote confusion and invoke like a certain emotional like mind frame, like make people think the way. And none of that shit's really working. It's really not working. They think it's working, but it really isn't. Because when I go out in real life, shit's different than when it's on the internet. Shit is way different. Because you got to look at it. Anybody who's on the internet that much for it to take effect on you, you're already not doing shit in real life. You don't even have you don't even have an awareness. Because if you have a certain awareness, then you'll be able to differentiate what's in real life and not real life. Anybody because think about it, if you're on the internet that much to actually be programmed like that, let's just say there's a real person who watches the internet and they actually believe the programs. They're already inside the fucking house. They're not going out. They're not doing anything. They're depressed. They're in the fucking house. They're bored. They don't have shit they're doing. They're probably into incel and MGTOW. So they're not doing shit. They don't go out. They don't make no moves, or they don't got no fucking motion on it within anything. So you're never gonna see those people, and if you do see them, they can't do shit because they don't have no talent. They don't have no skill. The only thing that they can do is be a fucking lick for you to beat the fuck out of them and rob them. And you probably can't even do that because they ain't got no fucking money. So you get what I'm saying? None of these people are nothing. But anybody who's actually in real life doing shit, they won't even be on the social media for them to even pick up on certain shit. Because they're so busy living their life doing their thing. Shit's crazy. But social media is dying off. Like I'm telling you guys, like this shit is dying off. Like I know it's because of the shift we're in, because I literally, like, I used to be on like social media all the time, just watching shit. And even if I am on it, it's not like I just watch, like I'm on it just to see what the fuck the government's doing or what the fuck other people, like I like to see the programs they're doing, because everything is so fucking like fed out. It's like it's all fake. So the only reason I'm on social media is just to observe, to see what kind of bullshit they're doing. I don't ever watch it as it's helping me. Social media doesn't help me no more. If you're watching if you're entertained, I don't even get entertained by it because the shit's boring. But it's like I just do it to observe what's going on, to see how the minds work, if I even do that shit. But I don't watch it as in it entertains me or I learn nothing. You can't learn nothing from social media nowadays, really, because what the fuck unless you're trying to learn how to fix an engine, unless you're trying to learn how to tie your fucking shoes, or I don't know, like crochet or do some dumb shit, like just regular shit, then obviously, but you can go to the library, you can go fucking on Google and learn how to do that shit. Like, but I'm telling you, like, you're not learning anything. Like, people thinking that you go on social media and learn about life. Or who the fuck is this stupid ass cracker gonna talk about the meaning of life? And Terrence McKenna, he said we have a, like, shut the fuck up, dude. You don't know shit about shit. None of these people know shit about spirituality, know shit about life, know shit about nothing. They can't tell you shit. And when you realize, it's not just me just saying this, but it's just everything that in my life that I do, none of that shit worked or helped, or I didn't need it. All I have to do was just be my fucking self. And then that's what helped. Just crazy. But man, shit's crazy. Oh, I thought somebody. Yeah, I got one of my I got my fucking on eBay. On eBay, I got my thing removed. Well, somebody left a stupid ass review on my thing, and I got that shit removed. Trying to say that they got their credit card stolen. Then they left a negative review on my account saying I'm the reason. Like, oh, after I bought this product from this seller, um, fucking his credit card, my credit card got stolen. Like I had something to do with it. If I had something to do with your credit card getting stolen, my eBay account will be banned. That means I'm hacking eBay and I'm using their platform. So they either have to remove my feedback that you left me or they have to ban my account. And they're not going to ban me because you can't scam me. I don't even have access to people's credit card information on my shit. But when he left the review, it makes my shit look bad because you got some dumbass people out there be like, oh, I don't want to buy from this seller because my credit card might get stolen, even though it's fucking eBay. It's a secure platform. So they're hella stupid. Like that's why I wanted to get it removed, and they just removed it for me. They removed it this morning, so I'm glad they did that shit. Cause I don't wanna have that shit on my thing. Why the fuck is whatever? I'm not even gonna get upset over that. But I just want to make this little quick video for you guys. I'm gonna start going live a little bit more frequently. Yeah. Yeah. One thing I realize is that when you're doing well, I don't really want to get into that. I don't want to bring no negativity. It's not even. I don't want to give my attention to that. But I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna end this fast, guys. I'm gonna be in this not fast, but in this live stream. And I'm about to be on. I'll probably be on tomorrow or later on today.